Hey, hello students. I'm here with a new chapter of class 10, that is life processes. Yeah, you might be thinking, what is life processes? So let's discuss and let's start. You know, a living organism performs various functions to survive on this earth. Yeah, I must repeat, living organisms require a number of functions to survive on this earth. And it should be taken or performed uninterruptedly, just if they are in active stage or inactive stage, but they have to perform these functions uninterruptedly. This is called life processes. So some of the life processes are just like control and coordination, growth, respiration, nutrition, and so on. So let's start this chapter with an example. If I ask you that I must be taking out one fish from the water, that fish will able to survive? I think so. Your answer will be no. Why is it so? The answer is, why is it so? Because you all know that respiration, breathing and respiration is much more essential to survive in the environment. The environment of the fish is aquatic, and to survive there in that environment she needs water, because she's actually fish is having gills, and the gills will be only functional in the water. So what is responsible for making the life of the fish possible on this earth? That is respiration, that is breathing. So you must be confusing between these two terms, breathing and respiration. I'll make you confirm that breathing is a mechanical process and respiration is the chemical process. So breathing is only inhalation, exhalation, inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. And this makes breathing. Inhalation and exhalation of gases is called breathing. And whereas respiration, it is a chemical process in which the food is broken down in the presence of oxygen to give energy. Right? So in this chapter, first we would like to start the nutrition. You might be thinking, what is nutrition? And you all are aware, I think so, because you have gone through this term in your previous classes. That is nutrition. Nutrition is the way of taking food. The way of taking food. How you are taking the nutrients. Actually, the food consists of nutrients. And what are nutrients? Nutrients are the essential components of the food, just like carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. So these five are essential components of the food and called nutrients. So the way of taking the nutrients is called nutrition. Now different organisms have different type of nutrition, as they perform different type of nutrition. Just like if I talk about plants, they are not dependent on anybody or any other thing. They are doing self synthesis of their food. So that means they are performing the process by which they are preparing their own food. So that means the mode of nutrition of plant is entirely different from us, because we are dependent on plant, whether directly or indirectly. So coming to the point, nutrition is divided into autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Coming to the autotrophic mode of nutrition, I would like to split this autotrophic term into two. Auto and trophic. Auto means self, trophic means what? Self synthesis. Auto, self, trophic, synthesis. Those organisms which make their food by their own are called autotrophs. And the mode of nutrition they are performing is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. Coming to the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, hetero and trophic. If you will split the term, you will get two terms, heterotrophic. Hetero, dependent on other. Trophic, synthesis. means depending on other synthesizing the food, right? Just like we humans, we are dependent on plants as well as we are dependent on animals. So we can say we are directly or indirectly dependent on plants, right? And again, heterotrophic mode of nutrition is divided into saprophytic mode of nutrition, holozoic mode of nutrition, parasitic mode of nutrition. And coming to the autotrophic mode of nutrition, autotrophs prepare their own food by the process known as photosynthesis. Again, I would like to split this from photosynthesis. Photo, in the presence of photons. What are photons? The package of sunlight. Photosynthesis, in the presence of sunlight, anything is being synthesized is called photosynthesis. So plant is preparing their food in the presence of sunlight, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide and water. And what they are forming? They are forming their food. Just like your mother cooks food in the kitchen, same as it is plant cook they cook their own food, and the food is termed as glucose. What they make? They make glucose. Just like your mother cooks some dhokla, pav bhaji and entirely so many dishes. Plant cooks glucose. Whatever is required by their body is consumed by them, and the remaining portion is stored in the form of starch into their leaves or different parts. You have studied in the previous class, that is stored in the parenchyma, which is a kind of tissue. You have gone through this chapter in your 9th class. Now coming to heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Before coming to the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, I would like to tell the function, the steps that is being performed during the photosynthesis. First of all, when the sunlight falls on the leaf of the plant, the leaf is of green color and it contains a pigment called chlorophyll, which is very important for the fixing of sunlight. After this process, the second process is the water splits into ions and the photons, the light energy, the solar energy is converted into chemical energy. And this chemical energy is utilized by the plant, and finally the product, that is glucose, is formed with the help of carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, these are essential to make the glucose with the help of pigment that is present in the leaf of the plant, or the green part of the plant is called chlorophyll, and the food glucose is formed. Now coming to the next, that is heterotrophic mode of nutrition, in which a particular organism is dependent on plant, whether directly or indirectly. Here again the animal or the organism is categorized into unicellular and multicellular. If we talk about unicellular organism, it contains only single cell. And if we talk about the multicellular organism, it is two or more than two cells if combined together to form a whole body of the organism is called multicellular organism. So if I take an example of amoeba, which is a unicellular organism, it performs a kind of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and in the heterotrophic mode of nutrition it performs holozoic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition we have divided into holozoic, saprophytic, parasitic. So holozoic mode of nutrition is being performed by the amoeba. What do amoeba do? Amoeba actually is a unicellular organism and it consists of false feet. Means the organism doesn't have the true feet. It is false feet called pseudopodia. By the help of pseudopodia, it makes the organism which is being eaten by the amoeba, it fools the organism and it shows that this is my false feet, but it's not, it's the false feet. The amoeba is going to capture that organism, going to take that organism into the body where it forms the food vacuole, and that food vacuole consists of some enzyme which digests the food. Finally, when the food get digested, it get burst and the nutrients get assimilated, absorbed and assimilated into the body, and the waste material again form into a vacuole. It comes towards the wall of the amoeba, external wall, and it get burst out. And this method of excretion is shown by the unicellular organism called amoeba. So the next thing is what we have learned from this, that unicellular organism is having very simple mode of performing different kind of function for their survival on this earth. Whether the organism is in active phase or inactive phase, these functions are being performed in means that should not be interrupted. Uninterruptedly it should be performed. So we have learned in this session about how the nutrition of different organisms are different, what are nutrition, what is nutrient, and different organism, whether they are carni, herbi or omni, they are directly or indirectly dependent on the plant. We have learnt about the process photosynthesis and the steps that are performed by the autotrophs during the photosynthesis, and we have gone through the types of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Next session will be there, in which we will be discussing about the remaining portion of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. I think this session should be ended over here, because if I'll give you much more, you are going to speak out. Okay, so take care, be safe, and do subscribe to my channel. This is Nisha, and hope you will love it, and be ready for the next session. It will be uploading soon. Thank you so much.